Okay, just a quick little video here on news of the day, starting with the Edmonton Oilers. Puljujarvi will be getting a qualifying offer from Holland. Now, this is this formality, really, just so they can retain his rights, because the player said he would not re-sign with the Oilers. He wants a trade. Holland's not going to do that because his value is pretty low right now. So he'll go off to Europe. He'll marinate for a little bit. So Edmonton can get more than a third or fourth round pick for him at a later date. We'll see what happens there. They can still trade him, but they only have, I believe it's to the 25th to do so. Joe Pavelski, his agent, has been talking to the Arizona Coyotes, who desperately need some offense. Now, there's a bit of an issue here because Arizona's near the cap. They only have just over $6 million in cap space, but they got Marian Hossa on the LTIR, who's on the books for $5.2 million, just over $5.2 million over the next couple of years. They also have to sign some notable RFAs, the most important one there being Lawson Krause at age 22. But if you have a chance at Pavelski, you make things work. I know he had a concussion against the Golden Knights in the playoffs, but he still had over 30 goals last season. And yeah, I know he's like 34 years old, but I think that's a no-brainer, really. The Philadelphia Flyers, they signed Travis Sanheim, right shot D, to a 2-year, $3.25 million AAV. Sweetheart of a deal. I did a video on it earlier today. Just please go check it out on my playlist for more details. More Flyer news. They trade Ryan Hartman to the Dallas Stars for Tyler Pitlick. And Philadelphia fans are going, who? Right. So let's start with Tyler Pitlick. He, last season in 47 games for the Stars, had 8 goals and 4 assists for 12 points. He was a -2. However, the season before, he had 14 goals and 13 assists for 27 points and was a +9. He also played for the Edmonton Oilers. His career high was what I just read you, was 14 goals. So he's a serviceable, third-line winger. His dimensions here are 6'2", 200 pounds. He's 27 years old, and yeah, he plays the right wing. Now, he's only on the books. I think this is the big reason why this trade went down, for $1 million for next year. That is it. Yeah, I'm just looking up his name. Yeah, and then he's a UFA. So Philly probably couldn't get Ryan Hartman signed to a deal that they wanted to. Probably under $3 million, I'm guessing, because they're going to be facing some cap issues because they've got a lot of guys to sign. Now, Ryan Hartman, he obviously has the bigger ceiling here. He went from Chicago to Nashville to Philly in the Wayne Simmons deal, and now to Dallas. He's a good pickup for Dallas, but they don't have much cap space either. This is what's interesting. They just have just under $11 million, and they're still deciding if they want Matt Zuccarello or not, who they would have to give up a first-rounder instead of a second-rounder if they re-sign to the New York Rangers. So maybe they don't want to do that at age 31, but he looked really good in the playoffs last year. So, and of course, the Dallas, the other notable they have to sign here is 23-year-old right-shot defenseman Julius Honka. I don't know how they're going to do all that. You can see Dallas moving some more bodies. Now, back to Hartman. Last season, split between the Predators and the Flyers, he had 12 goals and 14 assists for 26 points, and he was a +1. His best season was back with the Blackhawks in 2016-17, where he had 19 goals, 12 assists for 31 points, and was a +13. Now, he's only 24 years old. He plays both wings. Dallas is, maybe they're hoping he'll help replace Zuccarello. I don't think so. He's not the same player. He's feels more like a third liner to me. Moving on. Panarin, the bread man, has been talking to the Colorado Avalanche, so it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion that he'll be signing with his buddy Bobrovsky in Florida, who apparently the two of them are supposed to go talk with the Panthers sometime soon, a little bit later this week. We'll see what happens there. In other news, the Minnesota Wild big news here. Have signed right shot defenseman, depth defenseman. I'm trying to think of his name. That's how big news. His last name is Hunt. They signed him for a 2-year deal, all joking aside, for $700,000 a year. It's a good signing. He's 30 years old. He's a kind of a backup here behind who else we have? We have Dumba, we have Spurgeon, and we also have Greg Patterian. I can't pronounce that properly. I'm probably butchering it. And then there's Brad Hunt. There's unconfirmed contract details now about it, but it's a cheap depth signing. There you have it. Now, moving on. In social media, there's a lot of talk around, I believe it's the insider Rene Lavoie, mentioned Tyler Myers, right shot defenseman formerly of the Winnipeg Jets, who's now a UFA, might get as much as $8 million. $8 million. What? Now, okay, there's only 4 defensemen in the league making $8 million or more, and that's Erik Karlsson, Drew Doughty, PK Subban, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. There's an argument to say PK Subban is overpaid. Tyler Myers making $8 million. Now, apparently he's been having talks with the Vancouver Canucks. I hope they don't give him that kind of money on a really good team. He's on a contender. He's a bottom pairing right D. I know he's long and lanky, but I know even Jake Gardiner is rumored to be asking for as much as $7 million. Tyler Myers though is a right shot D. They're a little bit more rare, but he's not worth a penny over 6, I would think. But who knows? We'll see. Now more news out of Vancouver. There's talk that they might let left shot defenseman Ben Hutton walk. Now, the 26-year-old had 5 goals and 15 assists for 20 points last season and was a minus 23. He would be a depth option for them anyways. Maybe they'll trade him before the RFA deadline there. We shall see. There you have it. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment box down below. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.